Are you tired of always having to ask, are you going to pay the 2? Are you going to pay the 2? Are you tired of always seeing the same Teferi's protection played at the exact wrong moment for you? Well, we're going to be looking at 10 white commander cards that should be seeing more play in your commander decks. Starting with number 10, Ranger of Eos. It's a 4-mana white human soldier 3/2. It says when a Ranger of Eos comes into play, you may search your library for up to 2 creature cards with converted mana costs 1 or less, reveal them, and put them into your hand. If you do, shuffle your library. Now you might be thinking, oh, okay, well, what good 1-mana creatures could I possibly search up for? I don't know, Esper Sentinel, Ragavan, Mother of Ruins, Viscera Seer, Gravecrawler, Haywire Mite, Sylvan Safekeeper, Ocelot Pride, Sarah Ascendant. There are so many powerful 1-drop creatures in our format. And having a 4-mana creature that lets you tutor up not 1, but 2 of them, this card should definitely be seeing more than 0.32% inclusion or 13,000 decks on EDHREC. And this card is 35 cents? This card should definitely be seeing more play. Number 9 is Luminate Primordial. It's a 7-mana 4/7 with Vigilance. It says whenever Luminate Primordial enters the battlefield for each opponent, exile up to 1 target player that player controls, and that player gains life equal to its power. Do you like Swords to Plowshares? Now imagine Swords to Plowshares on a body that not only deals with 1 creature, not 2 creatures, but up to 3 creatures, 1 for each opponent. This is on a body that you can blink repeatedly to exile as many creatures as you possibly want, and who cares if they're gaining the life? Eventually, you're just going to wear them down anyways. This card is only being played in 0.17% of decks on EDHREC. Only 7,000? That's too few. For only 33 cents, Luminate Primordial is an excellent option in my Ketramos deck, in any Blink deck, or just any general white deck. This card should definitely be seeing more play. Number 8, Concerted Effort. It's a 4-mana enchantment. It says at the beginning of each player's upkeep, all creatures you control gain flying until end of turn if a creature you control is flying. The same is true for Fear, First Strike, Double Strike, Landwalk, Protection, Trample, and Vigilance. Concerted Effort gives all of your team all of the abilities. So if you have some flyers but not enough flyers, now all of your team has flying. If some of your creatures have First Strike, all of your team has First Strike. Even better, Double Strike, Trample, Protection. All of a sudden, now you have a 4-mana enchantment that says, together, we have all the same abilities. It's not every single ability, it's only the ones that are listed here, but it's also on every single player's upkeep, not just yours, which means that you can give your entire team flying, Double Strike, Vigilance, Trample, all of the protection things all at the same time. This card is only being seen in 0.15% of decks on EDHREC. It is only $2. This card should definitely be seeing more play. Up now is number 7. It's Crackdown, a 3-mana white enchantment. It says non-white creatures with power 3 or greater don't untap during their controller's untap steps. Are you playing a white deck? Are you playing a deck that has a lot of white creature cards in it? Then this card basically is a one-sided stacks piece that says if you're not playing white, your creatures with power enough that I care about, they're not going to untap. And so for only $1, 17 cents, Crackdown basically gives you free reign to be able to attack your opponents without worrying about them cracking back at you. This card is only seeing 0.17% inclusion in all decks on EDHREC. That's, I don't know, just a little bit over 7,000 decks. This card should definitely be seeing more play. Up next is number 6, Gossamer Chains. It is a 2-mana enchantment. It says, return Gossamer Chains to owner's hand. Target unblocked creature deals no combat damage this turn. This card was in my Sithis deck for a really long time because it is a repeatable way of returning an enchantment to my hand while at the same time protecting me. It also works on my own creatures. If I'm attacking with one and you don't block it, I can return it. Or I can return Gossamer Chains to my hand and make that creature do no combat damage. So if I have a 1/1 that manages to sneak through, would I rather have a couple extra draw triggers that come off of a Gossamer Chains? It's 2 white mana. It's in 0.04% decks on EDHREC that can possibly play it. That's just over 1.54 thousand decks. For only 15 cents, you can't go wrong with a card like this in your Enchantress decks. Up next, Angel of the Dire Hours, a 7-mana Angel, flash, flying. When Angel of the Dire Hours enters the battlefield, if you cast it from your hand, exile all attacking creatures. Now this one perhaps is more of a niche card, one that's more of a pet card of mine. Whenever someone goes out and they just send everything at you, you flash in your Angel and all of the attacking creatures just get exiled. True, it costs 7 mana, so it is quite expensive. But on the other hand, you also do then get a 5/4 flying angel who can then attack. And this card is only being played in 0.32% of decks on EDHREC that can possibly play it. It's just over $1.63. This card should definitely be seeing more play. Next up, Radiant Solar. It's a 6 mana angel, 3/6 flying lifelink. Whenever Radiant Solar or another non-token creature enters the battlefield under your control, venture into the dungeon. And it has an activated ability that says you can pay white and discard Radiant Solar and venture into the dungeon, and you gain 3 life. Now, this is a value engine in the right type of deck, because if you have it on the field, when it enters, or whenever any other creature enters, you enter the dungeon, which means you are going to be accruing value by doing the actions that you already want to be doing. If you're playing a deck where you expect to be having a lot of creatures entering the battlefield, specifically non-token creatures, you're going to be accruing all sorts of value. If you're going into the Dungeon of the Mad Mage, each time you go through it, you gain a life, scry 4, create a treasure, exile the top 2 cards of your library, which then you can play, and in the very end, you draw 3 cards and cast one of them for free. Radiant Solar is a combo piece, but also you can just use it for incidental value. If you're in a blink deck, you can just start blinking your creatures. When Radiant Solar enters, you begin to create treasures, gain life, scry, exile a bunch of cards you can play, and actually draw cards and then cast them for free. This card should definitely be seeing more play than 0.48% inclusion on EDHREC and just over 20,000 decks. It's only $3.73. This card should definitely be seeing more play. Next up, another Enchantress card, Righteous Aura. It's a 2 mana white enchantment, has an activated ability of white and pay 2 life. The next time a source of your choice would deal damage to you this turn, prevent that damage. Now, if you've been watching this series, you know that there are some type of cards that I really like, cards that nobody ever plays, but at the same time is a little pill of 40. This card is one of them. Why? Because it doesn't target. The ability doesn't target a creature. So if you have a Voltron Commander, if you have a gigantic Atraxa, or if you got an Aurelia the War Leader with all the swords attached to her, and she's just swinging at you, as long as she doesn't have protection from white, I pay 2 life, I pay a white mana, and then the next time she would deal damage to me, she does no damage to me. And that means that I have a certain amount of protection where I can feel comfortable with Righteous Aura on the field. I did play this in my Sithis deck because it was a safe way for me to play cards, play enchantments, draw cards, and then also have a way to protect myself if someone managed to try and sneak something through. This card has a 0.14% inclusion rate on EDHREC, just under 6,000 decks on EDHREC. This card is under 50 cents. It's 46 cents for an excellent option to be able to protect yourself from anybody trying to swing out and take you out of the game. Next up is Benevolent Offering, a 4 mana instant, white instant. Choose an opponent. You and that player each put 3 1/1 white spirit creature tokens with flying onto the battlefield, and then choose an opponent. You gain 2 life for each creature you control, and that player gains 2 life for each creature he or she controls. The offering cycle is underrated because you have lots of different options and lots of different situations when you can use it to great effect. You can use Benevolent Offering's ability to give yourself and one other player 1/1 white spirit creature tokens with flying to be used as a blocker if they need to in a combat step. If you want to accrue some value, you want to have some political favor, you can gain a bunch of life by choosing yourself and choosing one other person. You can gain a huge amount of life if you have a bunch of white weenie tokens, and then you can choose a player who has no creatures at all, and then they gain nothing. So Benevolent Offering really gives you a lot of options. If you're playing token decks, which are incredibly popular, flying decks, it's incredibly popular. Life gain decks are incredibly popular. I have this card in my Sorin of House Markov deck because it allows me to gain a huge amount of life very, very quickly, which then with Sorin, I can turn around and just send straight at the opponent's face. So Benevolent Offering is only being seen play in 0.5% inclusion rate on EDHREC with just over 21,000 decks. It is $1.13. You can't go wrong with Benevolent Offering. And last but not least, our number 1 white card that should definitely be seeing more played, it's Knight Captain of Eos. It's a 5 mana human knight, 2/2. When it comes into play, put 2 1/1 white soldier creature tokens into play, and it has an activated ability that says, pay a white, sacrifice a soldier, prevent all combat damage that would be dealt this turn. This card has an ETB that creates tokens, which is great, and it has an activated ability that prevents all combat damage that would be dealt this turn. So it has a fog effect on an activated ability. Soldiers are incredibly popular. They are the 24th most popular tribe in Commander, and two of the most popular commanders that have soldiers as a part of their theme are Aragorn the Uniter and Caesar, Legion's Emperor. They create soldier tokens like nobody else's business. And now with Knight Captain of Eos, you can turn those 1/1 creatures into fog effects whenever your opponents are trying to kill you. I have a long history with Knight Captain of Eos and trying to get through it, but just having a non-stop cycle of soldiers coming into play, Knight Captain of Eos getting blinked, and then all of a sudden you have fogs. Repeatable fogs are really hard to deal with. This card is only being seen in 0.29% of decks on EDHREC, just over 12,000 decks. It is $2.52. Give Knight Captain of Eos a chance. Let him show you the power of the repeatable white fog. So that is our video for today. Which of these cards will you end up picking up for your own personal Commander decks? Which one will you play? Let me know in the comment section down below. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos like these. And I'll see you in the next one.